Hey everyone, welcome to Slater's Risk Game. Today, first of all, happy Independence Day to everybody in the United States, and happy Canada Day. I know Friday was Canada Day in Canada, so but happy Independence Day to everybody. Today is Monday, July 4th. Hope everybody's enjoying some time off and work with your family. So today we're going to do not a review, but a comparison of two watches. We'll do like a side-by-side comparison. It might seem like an apple and oranges comparison, but one thing they both have in common is that they're the most affordable pieces for these two luxury brands. And the watches we're going to compare today are the Tudor 1926 versus the Tag Heuer Formula One. I know a lot of times when a person decides to buy their first Swiss luxury piece, they start off with what we call affordable luxury. I define it as watches that cost between $500 and maybe $2,500 MSRP. And these are two very popular choices, especially the Tag Heuer. I think it's been very popular for a long time. And I think the Tag Heuer Formula One is sold more than any other watches from Tag. So anyway, let's just take a look at them one by one. So first we look at the Tudor. Here we have it here, and I'm gonna put the specs up on the screen so you can kind of take a look at the specs. But here's just a good look at the Tudor. Well, one of my favorite watches. I got this in December, and it's very thin and made. Of course, Tudor is a sister company of Rolex, and I love this watch. I think this is one of the most underrated watches with the Tudor brand. But I love this watch here. I just love the dial. Just wanted you to get a closer look at it. And then we'll take a look at the Tag Heuer Formula One. Here it is. I'm also put the specs up for the Tag Heuer Formula One. Like this watch, this company's been around for a long time. It's a kind of polarizing brand. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Like Tag, but I like Tag Heuer, and I feel like they got a permanent place in the watch market. I feel like this watch here is also very underrated, and I love the way it looks. All right. And then we'll just put them side by side here for a second. So here are both watches. Yeah, so two pretty awesome watches, two of my favorite watches in the collection. Both serve different purposes. So we're going to start. We're going to go over a few things. So I'm going to put these watches down for a second. I'll let you know what we're going to talk about. So basically we're going to cover just 10 categories with the watches. All right, the first one's going to be the movement, then legibility, finish, crystal, the tactile elements, versatility, packaging, prestige, comfort, dial, and then we're going to come up with a total. So I'm going to assign a point value from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best. This is just my opinion of these two watches, okay? You might not agree. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and move this box here. Put this paper here, this pen. And now just take a look. So first of all, let's talk about the movement for Tudor. All right, so Tudor has, for this watch here, it has the movement of the Tudor 601, which is a modified Sellita, the SW200. I love the smooth sweep of the second hand because of the movement, and the movement has a 38-hour power reserve. So Sellita is a third-party movement. I think most people in the watch industry prefer in-house, and then maybe an ETA, then maybe a Sellita. But it is a respected watch movement that's actually gaining more popularity. Okay. So for this one here, I'm gonna give the movement score an 8 on this one for the Tudor. And for the Tag Heuer, now Tag Heuer is part of the LVMH group. Swatch, I think, always gives for their quartz and automatic. I think Swatch pretty much uses ETA movements. Anybody out of Swatch, a lot of times for quartz, you're probably using a Ronda quartz because this is not an in-house. So I do believe this watch has a Ronda quartz movement. I did look it up. I can't remember the actual movement, more detailed movement information, but it is a Ronda quartz. Some people don't like that, So for this one here, it is a rondo course movement. I'm going to give this one a score of 6 for the movement, for the rondo course movement. Now, as far as legibility, when you look at the Tudor, it's very legible. You have a small bezel, and which makes the dial look bigger. You got this white opaline dial with these blue hands and blue Arabic markers with some stick markers at certain points, like at the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock and a couple other places. So half of them are stick markers, or what's really triangular markers, and half of them are Arabics. But it is very legible, okay? So it is a very legible watch. And it doesn't have any lume either. And for the Tag Heuer Formula One, let's make sure we can see this one. This here is a black dial with these white hour markers, and you got a 6 and 12 Arabics at the 6 and the 12 o'clock. So I think this is pretty legible too. Anytime you get like a black dial with like white hour markers, it's always very legible. And this watch actually does have lume, and the lume is pretty good. I didn't do a lume shot. I don't have my flashlight with me. Sorry about that. But the lume is like a very bright green lume. It's actually very good. Actually really glows in the dark when you come in from outside. So as far as legibility, I'm going to give the Tudor an 8 and the Tag a 9. Okay. As far as finish, when you see the Tudor is finished very well. And that's what you expect from the sister brand of Rolex. It has like some satin finishing or brush finishing and high polish finishing at different points on the watch. I love the bracelet. I think it's awesome. The center link is high polished. You got like more like a brush finish on the outside of the center link. And then even the side of the bracelet is kind of high polished. You see the Tudor logo on the clasp, but I think this is finished extremely well. When you look at the Tag Heuer Formula One, it's also finished well. It's just more of a matte finish all the way around, which I do like that. I don't have many watches that have this matte finish to it. Even on the side here, you can see the brushing. It's actually finished very, very good too. I like it. Don't have any complaints about this one at all. It's a very good job. The way I'm going to score this, with 10 being the best, and this, I would say the finishing on the Tudor is a 9. I would give the Tag an 8. Not bad. Neither one of those are bad scores. Now the crystal, and I'm gonna put these side by side to talk about the crystal. So basically, we can put them both here, and you don't really see much reflection off the Tudor crystal. I watched my YouTube videos, and at times there's no reflection at all. It definitely has anti-reflective coating. The Tag Heuer, definitely you can see the reflection. It's almost like looking in a mirror, so they didn't really put any anti-reflective coating on the Tag Heuer. So definitely I'm going to give, for crystal, I'm going to give it a Tudor a 9, and I'm going to get a Tag. There's nothing on there. There's a sapphire crystal. I'm going to give it a 7. It is sapphire, but it's no anti-reflective coating on that one. As far as tactile elements, when I say tactile elements, I basically mean crown action, bezel action, and the clasp. So as far as the crown is very small. It's kind of hard to grip. And the bezel is a fixed bezel, but it's supposed to be fixed, and it's very high polished. And as far as the clasp is very good. The Tudor is known for having a great clasp. You can see it here. And we actually can, open it up. See the swing arms on this clasp. But the clasp of Tudor, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of people brag on the clasp of the Tudor. So the crown is kind of small. Bezel is a good, solid, fixed bezel. And the clasp. But on this watch here, you got the crown, which is a screw-down crown. And it's easy to grip and easy to unscrew. The bezel also is pretty solid. You see it lines up. You can hear it, nice little clicking. Here, we'll try to get it to line up. So the bezel action pretty good. It's a little wiggle. And the clasp, you got this sign, clasp with double deploying clasp, but it is pressed metal. So at this price point, you expect a better clasp than this. A lot of people have complained about this. So actually on the Tactile Elements, the crown and bezel is good on the tag, but not the clasp. This is going to be tough. I'm going to give, for Tactile Elements here, I'm going to give a 9 and an 8. I'm giving the edge to Tudor. Their clasp is just a lot better. As far as versatility, I like both watches, both the Tag and the Formula One. I just think the Tag is more of a dressy watch, and it can be a watch that you can wear to the office every day. But it's not sporty because it really doesn't have any lume, even though it has 100 meters water resistance. The Formula One has 200 meters water resistance, and it is stainless steel, so it can be, and it has a lume, so it can be like a sports watch or everyday watch. And I think you can actually pull this off with a suit because it's basically like this matte stainless steel watch with this black dial, black bezel. I think you can do that. So I'm gonna go with the versatility. Actually, I think the Tudor is very versatile. I'm gonna give it a 10, but I'm gonna give a 9 to the Tudor. I think the Tudor has some lume, and it would be just a little bit more versatile, but the water resistance is fine at 100 meters. As far as the packaging, let's just take a look at the packaging for a second. So this is the Tudor. It comes with this outer sleeve. When you take the sleeve off, you actually see the Tudor box with this red shield. And when you pull it up, kind of like standard packaging, the box is actually kind of heavy too for luxury packaging. You have this flap here that you pull down, you open it up, you can see the Tudor shield. So the Tudor packaging is actually pretty solid. And when you open it up here, this is what it looks like on the inside. So this is like the Tudor packaging. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I think it's good. Some of the best packaging I have. Maybe next to my Alpina. The Tudor's solid. It's pretty good. The Tag Heuer, not bad. It is more like a cardboard box here. Got this red and green logo. When you pull it up, the flap doesn't come down. It has this little thing in here. I haven't seen too much of this, but I've seen it with older tags. I think it's pretty neat. It's more like a retro, I guess, case or something. Yeah, it's hard to open this with the gloves. I can't even open it with the gloves. So sorry about that, guys. All right, here we go. It has this pillow. So on the packaging, I'm definitely going to give that edge to Tudor. I can't give it a 10. To me, a Patek Philippe. If you ever seen that box, that's a 10. Omega is like a 9. I'm going to give the packaging to Tudor maybe an 8, and I would give this here maybe a 6. Packaging is not that great with the tag. I don't want to be too hard. Now, Prestige, this is kind of tough one for me right here because basically Rolex owns Tudor, and Rolex has a lot of prestige. They've made a lot of history with the oyster case and all of that, but it really, Rolex gets credit for it, not necessarily Tudor. And Tag Heuer, which became Tag Heuer in like the 80s, mid 80s, it's been around since 1860 as Heuer. And they've actually done a lot, had a lot of innovations, especially as Heuer. So this is kind of tough to score. But when you look at popularity and desirability, Tudor is definitely probably more desirable. So as far as brand recognition. So I'm going to still Tudor as far as prestige, especially because of their popularity. I would give it a 9. It's not as popular as the big 3 or Rolex, but it's very popular. And I would also just give a 9 to Tag just because they've done a lot as far as accomplishments. Like we look at prestige and history, and it's very recognizable. They got great marketing. So I'm going to give it a 9. As far as comfort, these watches are both very comfortable. The Tudor has a 9.5 millimeter case, whereas you have a 12 millimeter case with the Tag Heuer. When I wear them both, the Tag Heuer is very lightweight, very comfortable. The Tudor is more comfortable, and I actually forget I have it on my wrist when I'm wearing it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give for the Tag, I'm going to give it a 8, and I'm gonna give the Tudor a 10. Man, you can literally forget the Tudor's actually on your wrist. You can forget about it. And as far as the dial, this is also a very tough category, but I like both the dials. When I look at the tag, it is this black dial, like a matte finish with these stick hour markers. And you got the red and green at the 12 o'clock, and just Tag Heuer with the red Formula One. At the 6, I like that. I think that's pretty solid. That's actually a nice dial. I do like the dial. This here is just a better dial to me. This is the main reason I bought this watch. I saw this on Teddy Bought a Series. He did a couple of videos. And when he did the second video, I said, I just got to buy this watch because of the dial. This has this opaline waffle dial. This is definitely a great dial. Some people might not like it, but I like it. So for me, I'm going to give the dial 10, and I'm going to give an 8 to the dial of the tag. And actually, we've come to the end of it, so let's just try to get a total. Here, let's see here, 16 plus 36 is 52, 60, 69. I have an 89 for the Tudor, and here it says 15, 23, 30, 38, 48, 54, 63, 79. Basically, 2 good scores. I basically came up with a 79 for the tag and an 89 for the Tudor. So tell me what you think. I think the biggest discrepancies for the tag was in the movements and in the packaging. That's where it kind of lost a lot of points. I think it gained a lot of points on versatility and actually legibility. And the biggest things for me for the Tudor were the comfort and the dial. I think they were actually just, and the finish is good too. You probably could have scored a 10 on the finish. So 89 for the Tudor, 79 for the tag. You guys weigh in and tell me what you think. Are these scores too high, too low? Should they be closer? I'd love to know what you think about this. So thanks for watching this video. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video. And I hope you guys enjoy your Independence Day. All right, thanks, and I look forward to